the places where you're right now directly supported by the earth, like how you're sitting, and the places where you have contact with the ground beneath you. You might also have a sense of the importance of the relevance of gravity. You are held to a spot on the earth right now. You're not floating off into the atmosphere. So with that in mind, breathe down into the places where you feel more grounded. We also have the element of water, the 5 elements. The second element is water at the second chakra. You may have a sense of the suppleness or the fluidity of the body. And of course, if you're dehydrated or you haven't taken good care of the principle of fluidity in your body, you may actually feel kind of stiff until we get moving. A reminder to please hydrate every day. I mean, just as a regular practice. We try to sense right now the fluid systems of your body, this circulation, moisture of the skin, the moisture inside your mouth, the moisture inside the eyes. And then bring awareness to the fire of the body, that is your body temperature, which is being maintained relatively perfectly and even notifying you when you're not well. You get a fever, tells you you have something your body's trying to take care of. But this body temperature principle, this heat in you, also the fire of digestion, the fire of courage or inspiration. And the element of air, moving up to the heart region, the element of air, the lungs, the breath, which links us from the inner to the outer, from the outer to the inner. A moment to moment sort of symbiotic, porous relationship. And the element of the 5th chakra is called ether. It's actually called akasha, which means ether or space. The space, even within the body, the spaces, which we may feel very dense sometimes and not spacious, but this quality of space or ether, this lightest of the 5 elements. The throat is a very important gateway. In our yoga practice, we sense the ujjayi breath here. And we know that between the air entering the nostrils and moving down into the lungs, it does have to pass through this region of the body. And on the exhale, the breath is passing through this region again. So it's a bidirectional bridge, this gateway here at the throat. We also use the throat in our yoga practice for Jalandhara Bandha, which is the upper seal of the bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. And the throat is the beginning of the Vayu called Udana Vayu. It's where Udana, the vitality, rises upwards towards the mind. So yoga practice is a bit like shifting pressure systems, moving biochemistry, and recalibrating the system to experience that which is divine, not that which is cluttering our minds. So we have Jalandhara Bandha for sealing or capping the energy. Then we have the release of that energy, and we want Udana to flow upwards again and to illuminate the mind. If we're using the throat excessively for speech that's untrue or unclear or leading towards gossip or collusion or unskillful speech, or we're using the voice too harshly, we're dissipating horizontally the benefit that we could have of this vitality moving up towards the mind, the luminous mind. As well, if we're constantly ingesting things that may not be life-giving, or in the quantity that we ingest them, they might not be life-giving. So food and substances, cigarettes, things like this, but we're taking in through the throat. We're also preventing this udana, this rising up to the luminous capacity of the mind. So in yoga practice, we use pranayama and the bandhas and chanting and specific asana to help to make this region of the body more, what should I say, but that the energy moves more gracefully between the heart, throat, and up to the mind, and from the mind to the throat and back to the heart. So with that in your awareness, please join your hands and begin the Ujjayi sound that you'll hear with your inner ear. So naturally you have the sense of the air moving in and out in Ujjayi. Can you sense the space within you that the air is entering through, passing through, coming down into the lungs, and the space through which the air is also exiting? We will chant to begin our practice this morning, as we normally do. We're going to start with the sound of 3 ohms. When you sing this om, I'm going to encourage you to open the throat like you're about to yawn, and to have it be a much more open throat than you may feel when you get to the M sound. We want to try to keep that openness. So the that the throat shape stays open, even though the lips are going to close for the M sound and the lips curl in a little bit between the teeth. Let's do this 3 times. Okay, so we'll chant and call and response now. Om Namo. Om Namo. Gurudev Namo. Gurudev Namo. Om Namo. Om Namo. Gurudev Namo. Gurudev Namo. Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo. Om Namo. Gurudev Namo. Gurudev Namo. Vasudevaya. 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 The Gu and Ru, is the power, the principle, that thing which moves us from Gu to Ru. That is from darkness to light, from forgetting, avidya, to remembering. Move bow your head to your heart. Please interlace your fingers. Push the heels of the hands straight down and gaze down. So you'll lift the base of the skull. Bring your chin gently in towards the center of your throat. That is the head position for Jalandhara Bandha. And then inhale, Ujjayi breath. Raise your arms forward, raise your heart, raise your gaze with your knuckles. And then exhale, push out and bring your head again into Jalandhara Bandha position. Turn your palms face out. Inhale, raise your arms, raise your heart, raise your gaze. You're going to meet up with your thumbs overhead. And then bringing the hands down to Anjali Mudra. Lower your gaze until your head is positioned again for Jalandhara and you're gazing at the fingertips. Again, clasp the hands. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, push out. Turn your palms out. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale. And inhale, rise up. And then exhale, hands down to your heart. Now place your right hand on the floor to your right. Sweep your left arm overhead. And make a deliberate C curve to your left. Okay, so we're going to be rotating the head down and up, and the movement of your head in this position is going to be coordinated with your arm. So gazing down, open your left arm out to the side and press your palm face down. Notice the left side of your neck. Okay, so there's the exhale. Let's inhale, raise your left arm up and gaze up. And exhale. The chin comes in towards your throat. Inhale, raise your left arm and gaze up. Pass your tricep or your elbow towards the ceiling. And exhale to open. Gaze down, snug your chin in towards your throat. Again, inhale. And exhale. And inhale, rise up to your center. Place your left hand on the floor to your left. Side bend to your right. Here's the inhalation, gazing up. And then exhale, open your right arm, turn your palm face down, gaze down, snug your chin in towards your throat. Inhale to open. Enjoy the side bend, but focus really on the rotation of your head. So even here, the chin is not ejected from the throat, so it shouldn't feel like your head is hanging back in any kind of lax position for the neck. And exhale, open your right arm, press your palm down and gaze down. And inhale to go up. And exhale to open. One more time. Inhale, rising up, gazing up. And exhale, open. And as you gaze down, snug your chin in towards your throat. Inhale, come up to center. And pause just to notice how a few simple movements are influencing this gateway, this very important gateway in the body. Notice for yourself what's happening now. And then please come over to table pose, quadruped pose. If you would like padding for your knees, please do that. We're going to place the knees almost as wide as the yoga mat, and the feet will be together behind you. So this padding for the knees will not be in the way for where we're going. So feel free to use that. I prefer a little bit shorter blanket front to back so that when my feet are on the floor, they're on the yoga mat. So place your knees as wide as the yoga mat like this and walk your hands forward so that you're going to be in pranam to start. Pranam means to make a forward humble offering from the heart. Okay, so stretch your arms out there. And as you walk the hands out, press your hips back towards your heels. Come into the Ujjayi breath and start sensing when you're exhaling, what happens to the deep inner belly during the exhale. And it's an important thing because what happens there in the inner belly is also having an influence in the throat. If you can sense that connection between those two places. Take your time for the exhale to be more complete, not more hurried. Then we're going to inhale and pull forward like cow pose, but with the knees wide. And exhale, press back into pranam. Inhale, draw forward, of course, at your body's pace. Enjoy the inhale pause, open the throat, and exhale, press back. And here also enjoy the exhale pause. Don't rush over those pauses, please. You can think of the space element that we were talking about, the space of the pause, the space between thoughts, the space that surrounds your practice right now, and the inner space through which movement is occurring. Once more, come forward. And once more, reach back. Now, keeping your hips back on your heels, walk your hands to your left. The right knee stays wide on the yoga mat. Okay, and as you inhale, I'm going to ask you to pull forward and up to your left. And then exhale, root back and down. Inhale, pull forward and up to the left. Notice what happens in the arc of your spine here. And exhale, draw back and down. Notice the deep inner belly, especially on the right side. Inhale, come forward and up. And exhale, back and down. Walk to center and then walk your hands to the right. Reach out through both hands, especially through your left hand. Draw the left hip back towards your left heel. And inhale to come forward and up to the right. And exhale, reach back and inhale, glide forward and right. Open your chest and heart. There is a C shape to the spine. Exhale, reach back and down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale once more, come forward and up. And exhale last time, reach back and down. Press your left hip towards your left heel. And then walk your hands back to center. Okay, now, so there is a connection. Walk your hands back to your knees, please. Rise up to kneeling. So there's a connection between the second chakra and the fifth chakra. And I mentioned this last week that we could say first and fourth, second and fifth, third and sixth, fourth and beyond. So there's a connection between the second and the fifth chakra. So what we're going to do right now is when we inhale to go forward, we're going to stay forward. And like yesterday, we're going to exhale and do the lion's breath right there. We did lion's breath yesterday from kneeling, but we're going to do it in cow pose this morning. And then we'll inhale to cat pose, and we'll exhale back to child's pose. Okay, so walk the hands forward. And inhale, undulate the spine forward to cow pose with the knees wide like this. Inhale to cat pose. And exhale backwards to pranam or child's pose with the knees wide. Inhale, undulate forward. Lion's breath, I want you to open the jaw as wide as you can. Inhale to cat. Exhale, glide back to pranam. Inhale, undulate forward to cow pose. Last one, inhale to cat pose. Exhale back to pranam. So lion's breath is a breath of releasing toxins from the inner body outwards. We're going to go up. This is our last one. Exhale. Curl your toes under, even though your knees are wide, and then raise up, bring the legs together, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So one of the practices in Ayurveda in the morning is to scrape the tongue, because the residue of overnight digestion and the exhales is on the tongue. So we scrape the tongue. And lion's breath is also a cleansing breath cycle. It's also good for cleansing emotions that are stuck, that you haven't yet expressed. And we know that some of those emotions are, let's say, residing in the second chakra, the realm of the unmet needs. So in this downward dog pose, make your hands and arms and shoulders stable and invite the pelvis to rock side to side. So you've got this water element down at the second chakra. You could imagine you're practicing your downward dog pose on a boat. And this gentle rock side to side is rhythmically comforting. Now when your hips rock to the right, please turn your nose to the left. When your hips rock to the left, please turn your nose to the right. And continue with that, keeping the arms really stable. So when you're rotating your nose, you actually feel the sides of the neck being exercised. And then return to center. Lower your knees to the floor. And sit back to kneeling. You can rest your hands in your lap. Try to sense again the experience of space, the space between thoughts, the space through which the breath is moving. And please again come to table pose, this time for a variation on thread the needle pose. So when you come into table pose, let's take the right hand, because it's easier for me to show you from here, and place the back of your hand and the back of your elbow, and then the back of the outside of the shoulder. You're probably on the right side of your head there. Press your left palm down against the floor to encourage a twist of your thoracic spine to your left. This is one form of thread the needle pose. When you're pressing the left palm down, that's for your chest to rotate left. Keep your left knee anchored so your pelvis and your heart are rotating opposite. You might feel like there's more weight in your right knee, but see if you can press down from your left hip into your left knee. Now, keeping the left arm strong, as you next inhale, press into your left hand and open to your right. And then exhale and come under. This is where you thread the needle. Twist to your left during the inhale. Root your left knee on exhalation. Inhale, open to your twist to the right. And exhale, bring your right arm under. On the inhale, twist to your left. With your exhale, emphasize your left knee. And once more, inhale to take flight. And exhale, bring your right hand down. Okay, other side. So you won't be able to see my face now, which is fine. You're looking in your inner life anyway. So take the left arm under and come down to the left outer shoulder and the left side of your head. Press into your right hand so you are twisting your thoracic spine to the right. Notice if the weight is distributed more into your left knee. That would be natural and very common. So press down through your right knee to the best of your ability. And now press into your right hand. Inhale, rise up and twist left. And exhale, come under. Inhale, twist right. Exhale, emphasize your right knee. And inhale, twist left. Exhale, come down, under, and through. Inhale, twist right. Root your right knee on the exhale. And let's inhale to open. Last time. And exhale, return your left hand to the floor. Now place your hand somewhere in front of you where it's going to be comfortable to take the top of your head to the floor like this and to roll the shoulders up away from your ears, up away from the floor. Okay, so that position, if you now rock backwards, check and see where you end up and adjust so that you have the situation that you want. Like I didn't want my elbows on my blanket, so I just moved my blanket more under my knees. Okay, so we're going to inhale and roll forward to the top of the head. And exhale, roll back. The crown of the skull comes off the floor there. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, roll back. Again with your inhale. Follow your exhale. You might be noticing the connection between the second chakra and the fifth chakra. It's particularly strong when you are in the end range here with the inhale to the crown of your skull. The throat is most closed and the belly should be supporting the structure of the pose. And then exhale and rock back. Notice the low belly releases the exhale. Reach through the crown of your skull forward. Do it one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then rise up to Vajrasana. Notice what's happening from the heart to your throat to the crown of your skull. And then please rise up to standing. Come up to stand and take a wide stance, please. I'll change the angle of the camera. You see the kitty? It's right there. I'm pointing from the foreground. He's watching us practice. So he has his eyes closed. He can see. Then take a wide stance and reach back to clasp your hands at the small of your back. Squeeze the shoulders back. Press up through your chest and your heart. Let the throat open. When you squeeze the shoulders back, do that deliberately. So it's the shoulders even more than your wrists. The wrists will feel easier to move because they're farther from the shoulder joint, but the real moving part here is your shoulder. Okay, root down through your heels, and let's come forward. And releasing the weight of your head here, keep the squeeze of your shoulders back and your shoulder blades in towards each other for right now. Also take the shoulder blades up towards your hips. So the neck should feel long and spacious. Energize your legs, including your heels and toes. And as you inhale, lift your torso forward. When you exhale, bow towards your legs. Inhale, glide forward. The shoulders will go back. Energize your legs, include your inner thighs. Exhale to bow towards your legs, keeping your feet and calves and hamstrings toned. Twice more, please. Inhale, glide forward. And exhale to deeply bow. And one more time. And exhale. This time, release the clasp of your hands so your fingers can come down to the floor. Walk your hands forward like you're doing downward dog pose on your fingertips. You turn your right foot out to the right, turn the left heel slightly to the left, and bend your right knee. And inhale to straighten your right knee. And exhale to bend. And inhale to straighten. And rotate your right foot in, left toes slightly out, right heel slightly out, and bend your left knee. And straighten. And again, exhale to bend. Keep the breath really smooth. This is an act of nourishment for your body, not an act of torture. And straighten one more time. And then rotate your feet back to parallel. Walk your hands back to your hips, please. And rise up to standing. Okay, turn into the jazz dance pose. So heels in and toes out. Great. Okay, so you're getting prepared for a little sequence that we're going to be doing shortly. Let's go side to side here while I discuss with you. So my aim is to be able to integrate the chakra system, but to highlight this morning the fifth chakra. So when you're going side to side here, press out through the inner thighs and straighten the opposite leg if you can. Notice that the arms are still straight. So when you come over to the right arm is straight and the shoulder does shrug up towards the ear for a moment. We should not feel like we're tightening the throat in the process. And see if you can sense the connection as you're passing your body weight right to left. Can you sense the connection even at the pelvic floor? And we go left. And there's a transition here over to the right. This time as you come to the right, pick up your right heel. Notice that the shoulder is going to go up even more. And then exhale, lower your heel, come to center and to your left. You can pick up your left heel, then down, and we're going to come back to center. Okay, so that's one part of the action there. Breathe in and smile at your efforts. So now let's glide to the right. Pick up your right heel. Good. Raise your left arm up. And then exhale and switch it over to the other side. And you make it as a smooth action. Inhale, raise your left heel and your right arm. Good. And then exhale, transitioning smoothly. The integration process from the bottom up. Inhale, raise your right heel and your left arm. Exhale, smooth transition, passing the responsibility through the pelvic floor. Inhale, raise your left heel and your right arm. And exhale, let's return to center. Thank you very much for that. Press out through the inner thighs. Let's twist to the right, please. Drop the left shoulder down to the center. Right shoulder back, please gaze to your right. Now, as you're rotating your chest and heart to the right and gazing to your right, see if you can pick up your left heel without disturbing your pose. So you're just adding this little improvisational challenge. And the kind of concept of improvisation comes in at the second chakra. How can we improvise? How can we create, be spontaneous, respond to life in a fluid manner? The need for stability would be at the first chakra. So just sensing that there. Exhale, lower your left heel down. Let's rotate to center. Turn your right shoulder into center. Rotate your left shoulder to the left. Gaze to your left over your shoulder. And sensing the stability you're creating by your daily practice and also by just how you're concentrating this morning, pick up your right heel. And see what we want to discover that we can in fact have the stability that we need to support the improvisation without that feeling like instability. You lower your right heel down, come back to center, press into your heels and toes and rise up to standing. And let's go heel toe to center. Mountain pose. And see if you can sense from the first to the second chakra. We'll be moving back up to the fifth. What's happening right now in this lower region of the pelvis and the abdomen? See if you can sense the quality of space. You might be feeling an inner sense of space where there was a moment back some density or some stagnation. Turn to the front of your yoga mat, please. Put a face to the east, it's actually over there. So face to the east. And then standing on the right leg first. I'd like us to press into the right footprint and make the right leg stable and strong. When you inhale, raise both arms and your left knee. And then exhale, bend your right knee. Start taking the left knee back past your right knee, glide your right arm back. So you're momentarily scissoring. Take the left big toe to the floor, left inner heel. And then inhale, sweep your right arm forward, rise up, warrior one. Inhale to look up. And then exhale, glide your torso forward and your right arm back. So you're going to scissor again. Right here is like a little cross crawl moment. And as you inhale, step forward, raise your left knee up. And exhale to step down. Put your weight into your left leg. Inhale, raise your right knee and both arms, kind of like Karate Kid. Bend your left knee. Exhale, scissor back. So the right toe and the right heel, inner heel, are going to find the floor. And then inhale, rise up. Warrior one. Inhale to look up. Exhale, scissor forward. Take the left arm back. And inhale, step up, raise your right knee and both arms. Exhale, step down, mountain pose. Put your weight into your right leg, inhale, going up, lift your left knee. Exhale, bend your right knee and scissor backwards so the left leg goes way back into Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale to rise. And then inhale to look up. And exhale, scissor forward with the left arm, reach back with your right arm. And inhale, step up, raise your left knee. Exhale, palms together, left foot down. Shift your body weight to your left leg. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, scissor. So if you're sensing a little bit of burning in the body, that's good. You have the fire element there. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. And then inhale to look up. Exhale, reach forward with your right arm, back with your left arm. And inhale, step forward, raise your right knee. And exhale, mountain pose. As you can sense now the elements of earth, that is stability, water, improvisation, fire, determination. You can also practice the mental quality of appreciation. This is the garbage service in my neighborhood, which I'm grateful for. Okay, now we're going to take a wide stance again, and you can watch for a moment where we're going. So we're going to be using like part of Warrior 1 and part of Warrior 2 with the hands clasped behind the back. So what you do here is you've got the feet rotated, the front knee is bent, and the torso, so the legs are a kind of combination between Warrior 1 and 2, and the torso is going to come down, whatever amount is within your balance, within your reach. And then we're going to be rising back up with the torso. We'll go down a few times. So here is the place to put some of your attention for stability, is the right outer hip. Okay, so when the torso is coming down, I want you to think about like a very stable plant that has a wispy thing, like a willow tree. I know the roots aren't that stable on willows, but you tend to look at a willow and you see the trunk and then you see the, oh, like this. So I don't want your hips moving back to bring your torso down, but rather that you're maintaining that stability at the back of your right hip. So let's go to the right side first. Reach back and clasp your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Okay, breathing in. And then right hip stable. As you exhale, bring your torso down. Raise the arms up so your head and neck have a lot of traction and space right now. Keep the outer right hip steady, left inner heel steady, right inner thigh steady. Root into your right hip and heel and bring your torso up. Gaze up. And then curling down again. So your head, shoulders, heart, upper back, mid back, lower back, but keep your right hip very stable. And then root into your right outer hip, outer heel, rise up, look up. Release the clasp of the hands, straighten your right leg, turn your toes in. And then take your foot to your left. Turn the right heel partway out. Interlace the fingers. Bend your left knee. Very good. So the hips are kind of between warrior one and warrior two. And if your knee was a sundial pointing to the west, your torso is kind of going southwest, like on the diagonal like this. Okay, let's breathe in. And then exhale and curl down. Keep the left outer hip stable. So if we were to see your footprints somewhere on some magical yoga mat that measures your pressure, we would see equal pressure when you come down. It wouldn't be wavering to the inner heel or just into the big toe. And keeping the left outer hip stable. Exhale, press down, rise up, root your tailbone, lift your chest, open your heart and your gaze. And then curling back down. And then root into your left outer hip, left outer heel, rise up. And straighten your left leg. Bring your feet into parallel. And come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. And so with those qualities of exertion in the body, when you sense now, what is improvisation, what is stability, what is determination? So we have stability at the root, improvisation at the second, determination at the third chakra. At the fourth chakra, we have these qualities of expansiveness or joy, uh, delight, delighting in something. Love or compassion are also there. So please walk the hands forward again, like your Prasarita Padottanasana from before. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose, return to the Ujjayi breath if you have left it. Exhale and pivot your right foot in, left foot a tiny bit out. Now we're going to come forward and put your body weight into your, which one is it? Yeah, left arm, and step your left foot under. Raise your hips and then touch them down. Raise your right arm. Inhale to reach up and open your chest, your heart, and your throat. And exhale, twist your right arm across your left knee. Inhale, rise up with your gaze, your right arm, your heart, roll the left shoulder back. And then exhale, press firmly into your left arm, raise your hips, step over with your right arm, under with your left foot, return to Prasarita Padottanasana. Okay, pivot the heel, left heel in, right heel slightly out. Come forward, your body weight goes into your right arm, step your right foot under, raise your left arm, touch your hips down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale for the twist. Inhale, reach up. Press into your right arm, raise your hips and your left arm, step over, step under, Prasarita Padottanasana. Now we're going to add to the sequence for the neck and shoulders to come in a little bit more. Okay, so pivot your feet. Inhale, come forward, your weight's in your left arm. Exhale, step under with your left foot, raise up with your right arm, touch your hips down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, twist your right arm across your left thigh. And then see if you can hold your right hand to your left outer shin. And raise your chest, your heart, open your throat, lift your gaze. And then turn your gaze in towards the heart, down towards the floor. Press the shoulders back. And then inhale, raise your right arm up, put some weight into your left arm, prepare. Here's your transition. Now shift your heels, pointing to your right. Inhale, forward your body weight in your right arm. Step under with your right foot. Touch your hips down, raise your left arm high. Inhale to look up. And exhale, twist your left arm across. See if you can hold the right outer shin. And then open your chest and your heart, lift your chin. You may be realizing you've got spots in your neck that are tight that you didn't know about. Bring your gaze down towards the floor to your right. And then raise your left arm. Put your weight into your right arm. And as you raise your hips up, make the transition over, under, and back to Prasarita Padottanasana. And please come down to kneeling, Vajrasana. Give the neck just one more bit of attention before Shavasana. Take the back of your left hand to the outside of your right shin, and if possible, pick up your right knee so you're actually sitting on your back of your left hand with your right knee. To do that, we have to come a little bit forward. So this tiny bit of forward is already happening. Twist to your right. Lengthen your spine as you're rotating to your right. Notice how it is to turn your head to the right, the effort that's required on both sides of the neck. Keep the neck long. The Ujjayi breath should sound smooth. And then release your left hand and come back upright. Notice how your neck responds to letting go of the effort. And bring the back of your right hand around the outside of your left knee. So you're going to sit on the back of your hand. Twist to your left. Notice the effort to twist left. You can comfortably but actively press your left knee onto the back of your right hand. Both sides of the neck are active right now, supporting the rotation. Keep your neck long, the throat open so the sound of the breath is smooth. And come back to center. And notice again the feeling of the neck after exertion. And come to Shavasana, please. Really super important yoga pose this morning. In Shavasana, we practice integration. So when you come onto your back, please lie comfortably. And give yourself the gift of the integration that will happen when you fully relax the mind. The integration will be more deep. If the mind is busy, it's pulling you away from home, home being right here in your body. If your mind is pulling you away, the integration will be less powerful and may actually not occur very deeply at all. So keep the mind at rest, please. Invite your body and your mind to both receive the process of integration. So the mind need not go anywhere other than here. While you're resting, you feel the element of earth, the solid form that you inhabit, muscles and bones. Connect with the water element, the circulation moving through you. Keeping the mind present. Notice the process of temperature, your body temperature, the fire element. And then bring attention to the heart, the air element. And sense in the heart the vitality there. And then coming into the throat, the element of ether or space, akasha. And lightly wiggle your fingers, your toes. And bend your knees, please. Roll to your side. Return to sitting. Raise your thumbs up to close the ears after hearing me. You'll rest the index fingers on the just above the eyebrows, the second two fingers over the eyelids, pinkies on the cheeks. We'll inhale through the nose. Then we're going to exhale and use the M sound from the Om. Making a buzzing sound inside the head cavity. So close the ears with your thumbs. Inhale through your nose. One more. Rest your hands down to your lap. Brahmari pranayama increases nitrous oxide. It causes a vibration in the head that can be very powerful and also calming. Let your mind rest in the timelessness when we are beyond the self, beyond the other, resting in the open space. Out beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to speak about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. Please bring your hands together. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Namo. Thank you to all the people who make the trash, recycling, and yard debris service possible. They are accompanying my chanting with you. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Namo. My accompaniment has gone to the next house. Thank you all for being here. Namaste.